Hello, thanks for watching. In this video, an oracle card for every single star sign that there is, all 12 of them, from Doreen Virtue's Daily Guidance from Your Angels deck, or Kyle Gray's Keepers of the Light. I'll kind of chop and change as I go through, wherever my guide draws me. Sorry I haven't been here for a while, guys. There's been all kinds of ups and downs and stuff going on that just doesn't help matters. Anyway, let's get cracking. Let's get straight into it with a card for Aries. And now, this is a good one for Aries. It's Lord Ganesh and it's abundance. This is a Kyle Gray card. Now, Ganesh always to me says yes whenever Ganesh comes in, because the whole idea, the whole theory, all the stories, all the truth about Ganesh has been about liberating people so that they can actually get on with being themselves and going forward like that. So many obstacles get in the way. Ganesh comes in, smashes them all out of the way. Absolutely beautiful soul and an absolutely beautiful card. I'm seeing lots of green around here. And there's a kind of I think it's called a Merkaba pattern. I can't quite make it out, but it's there. And this is the thing, you know, spirituality is something that we often can't make out in our lives. So this is actually going to be quite a tricky week. The sun is making 3 alignments. 2 of them are tricky, but the last one's a cracker, so it's going to be good. So you've got to keep the faith, Aries. That's the bottom line. Hang on to that faith. And remember, the actual truth is never too far away as long as you stick to your path and keep going. The truth tends to be hidden until you do that, but that's the way to go, Aries. Okay, just remember, it's a yes. No matter how crazy things get, it's a yes on your hopes and your dreams. And if the current situation you're in isn't supporting that, well, fair enough, but you maybe need to be in another situation. Who knows? I'm not saying anyone's got to suddenly change or start doing things different, or, you know, take themselves out of a happy situation or a potentially happy situation. Not at all. Just remember that those hopes and dreams are there in your life for a reason, Aries, and go forward with that in mind. Okay, that has done Aries. I'm shuffling away. Let's have a Doreen Virtue card now for Taurus. And Taurus, here we go. Now then, here's a thing. Have confidence. I don't often find myself saying that in the name of Taurus, but this is the card that's come up. And look at this angel. Look at everything she's got about her here. It actually looks a bit like a headscarf. She reminds me a bit of my grandmother, actually, because all the women used to wear headscarves back in the sort of mid-1960s. And so she's making me think of my grandma, then we're thinking of people in the spirit realm, most certainly. And Taurus, there is going to be a lot of inspiration coming in from you in that direction over the next week or so. The moon is actually in Taurus now as I'm doing this this actual recording. So there we go. It's a very Taurian one, is this. So let's read it out. Have confidence. Moving forward doesn't necessarily require you to have confidence in yourself. Confidence in God is enough, along with knowing that God works through you and with you in all ways. Lean upon us, that's the angels, lean upon us if your confidence wavers, and we will buoy your courage and faith. Buoy it up. That's a kind of, I guess it must be a well-known expression in America too, or it wouldn't be in a Hay House deck, but you know, there you go. The spirit world, all the inspiration, in fact, that comes from outside of this world, basically all the cosmic forces are in favour of things going forward well. And Taurus do have confidence. When the moon enters Taurus, it's a good time to either have a complete rest or to really get your boots on and get things going. You've got to decide about that, Taurus. But as we go through next week, certainly, you know, everyone's confidence is likely to be knocked a little bit next week. You just got to bounce back and keep going. So have confidence, Taurus. That is the message for you, and it's a strong message, and it's one that's well worth listening to as well. Okay, so Aries and Taurus, and I'm tempted actually to stay with this deck for Gemini. I work with a spirit guide, you see, and he tells me which cards to go. So here we go, Gemini. Now then, whenever Gemini is involved, that twins influence comes in and things do become rather scattered. It's all a bit too easy. So look at this one. Be honest with yourself. This is for Gemini, and this is because there are 2 sides to everything, and next week is really going to be a week of there being, you know, 2 sides, 2 distinct sides to everything. In a sense, it's going to feel a bit like never the twain shall meet. You know, the 2 sides to things can't work together, but they always can. You know, that's one of the illusions of this world where things look absolutely impossible, particularly when it's got something to do with people, particularly when it's got something to do with kind of understanding and taking in the truth. So be honest with yourself, Gemini. Look into your heart and you will know the truth of this situation. It's safe to admit the truth to yourself, for we will support and guide you through any necessary changes. Lean upon us for courage and the strength to take good care of yourself. Focus only upon your true desires, and they'll come to you upon angels' wings. And this is the thing, Gemini. It's so easy to think, if we can't kind of do a thing ourselves, well, maybe the angels will help, maybe they won't. Not so, we are here for a reason, and the ideas that we have in our hearts and our minds that push us forward are actually a God-given thing. If you don't believe in God, I apologise for taking it that way, but I do, so that's the way I say it. But believe in yourself, even if you don't believe in God, you must see that there's something, everybody's got something they can do that nobody else can do, and you have too. So Gemini, that's it, focus in that sense, and do have confidence in yourself. This angel is absolutely full of healing, a healing colour and a healing intention as well. And you can see she's kind of holding that healing, it's like a shawl of healing colour. She's holding it tightly to herself. And so, do shelter from the rain, as it were. If it looks like rain, emotional rain, I mean, really, over the next week ahead, just kind of remember that rain always clears away and goes, on its merry way and leaves us in peace. Okay, that is Aries, Taurus and Gemini. Just going to ring the angel bell again and quickly mention, if you'd like to donate to the Twig Brother cause, there is a donate button on my About Me page. I'd really appreciate it. It would help me a lot. Cameras and stuff are always forever costing money. I've just got into a thing last week where I've had to get another computer. Oh dear, not your problem, but if you'd like to help, please do. It's on the About Me page on YouTube. Underneath a little bit of blurb that I've written about myself, it just says donate, and that will take you to paypal.me/Twig Brother. That's paypal.me/Big Brother. Okay, that's the money out of the way. Let us keep going. So where are we now? Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. And we're back with Kyle Gray. And I very often find actually, that I'm drawn to read the back of a card. Either for a person or for a star sign or something. And I'm going to read the front of this card as well. But just before I do, let's take a look at the back of this card. Okay, and this is for Cancer. Now, it's kind of a sort of a dullish orangey, kind of yellowy, almost brown colour here. But when we come down to the middle, it is actually very bright. And this is the challenge for Cancers. Try and see the light in the dark if you can, because it's going to be a week where people are frankly all over the place. And Cancers have such great compassion that they can be become quite upset if people aren't going the way they want them to go. It all comes from a place of love, it really does. So let us have a look at this. Joel Cool, there he is, and it is Dharma unfolding. Okay, now Dharma is a kind of a whole life science. It plays into karma quite a lot, and it's the science of your relationship with God or the divine or the universe or whatever you think is actually running this planet other than people. It's your relationship with the esoteric. And so the events of next week, as challenging as they're likely to be, okay, Cancer, just remember all the light shining around this man here. It's a really, really positive situation, a really, really positive light. And we've got this blue colour, which is making me think speak your truth. It's not quite turquoise, it's kind of darker. So you might have to speak your truth in a way that kind of feels a bit uncomfortable to you, Cancer, but do get it actually said rather than kind of worrying about people and trying to chivvy people along. It's not going to be a great time for dropping hints. It's a time for action. That's the word. It's a time for action, a time for getting things done. And as we go through next week, it's going to seem tricky at times, but later in the week, it's looking pretty good. So, okay, Cancer, that is very much for you. Stand firm like this guy is doing, but see the smile on his face. Okay, and just remember that however kind of up in the air things might get, however crazy things might seem, then, all is going to be well. All is really going to be well. So there we go, Cancer, and let's move on now to Leo and have a look at what's happening for Leo. I'm still with Kyle Gray, and I'm still with the cough. Kalimar, facing fear. Okay, now we've got a lot of purple in the bottom of this card, telling me that healing is strong, and this is the colour of a very dark amethyst, suggesting that healing is really going to be strongly needed. So Leo, hang on to that idea. It's really important to be aware that there is cosmic guidance coming in and that our footsteps are actually guided, whether we believe it or not, they always are. Okay, Leo, Kalimar, facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. SOAR, by the way, soar to the heavens. Barack Obama used to talk about soaring to new heights, didn't he? That's what I mean, not sawing wood, okay? The Taurians will be doing that, having a rest. We don't want to actually do that if we're a Leo. It's about getting out there and being seen, as is often a very good thing for Leos because they do tend to need that somewhere in their heart and soul. But look at the blue colour, beautiful blue colour, and this is a colour that was used to paint Hindu gods back in the day to show that they were spiritual beings, so that you could see in the pictures that they were gods or they were spiritual characters rather than actual physical people. Although Lord Krishna, in fact, all of them did live physical lives. It's just to show that they were elevated to the spiritual realms. And that, Leo, is what is trying to happen in your lives at this present time. And it certainly will be as we go through the week ahead of us. So remember that, again, this is a real theme today. I'm not picking these cards on purpose. This is a real theme today. Divine guidance is around. Don't be afraid to link into it because it is true and it is genuine. And if you do, I've got a necklace of skulls here. And they always seem a little bit on the negative side because we don't end up with our skull visible until long after we have passed away from this life. But think of that as a death of the old and a start of the new, okay? I was going to say a death of the old self, but I didn't get that far. Someone stopped me when I got to death of the old. So the old situation is moving on and dying off. It could be tricky. It could be quite emotional, Leo, to say goodbye to the situation. And I feel it's more about saying goodbye to situations than it is to people for you, Leo. Okay, but that's the way things are headed for you next week. Keep on looking for the skies, and I'm going to say it again, reach for the skies within. I say that a lot, and I've copied it from a man called James Arthur Jancic, who calls himself the Black Knight of Talk Radio. He's on YouTube somewhere, and he does great stuff. Reach for the skies within, because those are the real important ones, and that'll help you to reach for the skies without. Okay, Virgo, and we are back with daily guidance from your angels. In this case, it's weekly guidance from your angels and Twig Brother. I hope I become an angel one day when I get to the other side, but it's not my time yet. Okay, so Virgo, let me see. Reward yourself. Okay, here we go. And this is an image that many of us who love the decks of Doreen Virtue like to see a lot because it's a very playful image. It's almost like the play card, and there is one of those in that deck too. But let's see what it says, and this is for Virgo. Reward yourself, Virgo. It doesn't say Virgo, but I'm saying it, okay? Reward yourself, Virgo. You've been giving a lot of yourself lately, and it's time for you to receive. Make the time to reward yourself in a meaningful way. This balance of giving and receiving is essential to keeping your energy, mood, and motivation at a consistently high level. Now, Virgo, in recent times, things have been absolutely all over the place, and that is very difficult for a Virgo. Really is, because Virgos like things to be in the right place and like things to be all kind of proper, like people to have our ducks in a row. And they can actually become concerned and worried more about other people than themselves, actually, when things are all over the place. And they just have been, We've been through a Mercury retrograde. We've had 3 astonishing supermoons this year so far. And it's just been an amazing time in astrology and in life as well, because the world leadership situation is concerning and worrying. But Virgo, reward yourself, and look at this lovely pink here. It's a great healing light colour, is pink, if you ask me. It takes me right away from the idea of the masculine and feminine, does this card, though, because I'm seeing the purple here and a very deep blue here as well. So there's a coming together of masculine and feminine as we look into next week, Virgo. Try and let go, try not to worry, and you've been giving so much of yourself the last 2 or 3 months in particular, but I feel over several years now have been a bit tricky for Virgos because things have been changing in a way that we're not expecting. It's all leading to 2020. That's when things are really going to change in a big way, and it's not so far away now, is it? 2020, slightly scary prospect. But, don't fear it, don't believe the hype, don't believe your own internal hype, Virgo, whatever you do. Remember, you're allowed to have some fun with this, okay? So try try not to worry. Whatever's happening next week, make a bit of time for yourself and do something you know you deserve. So often we think that if we think we deserve something, that's rubbish, and we should only have something good if someone else gives it to us. Not true, Virgo, not true. This life is here, and we're allowed to take the fruit, as it were, from the tree as we go, because those trees and those fruits are put here for us before the world was created, before anything ever happened, Okay, so that's you, Leo. No, it's not. It's Virgo, right? So an Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. So it's time for Libra, and we are back in balance world again. Or are we? The card I've got for Leo... Stop it, Andy. The card I've got for Libra here is the Law of Attraction. It's a very richly gold-coloured card, this, really beautiful, in a deep green. Oh, it's not a deep, it looks like a deep green in my camera, so I'm going to give that colour out, but it's not green at all if you know this card. Law of Attraction, and this is for Libra. Each thought is an investment that pays immediate dividends, so invest wisely. You have the power to choose your thoughts and align them with love, peace and harmony. At your request, we will gladly attune your energies to higher frequencies. There we go. So it's not all about self-attunement, okay? This is the thing to remember, Libra. It becomes very easy to think that because you've got the balance thing going on there, you're the only one who can bring any balance into a thing. And that's a genuinely heartfelt thing that happens with Leos. But it's about balance in your own life. I keep saying Leo, maybe some Leos out there can take this, but I haven't missed any today. I know that, I missed one the first time. This is definitely for Libras, okay? Libra, some people might mistake you for a Leo this week. That's what I'm going to say, because it's come up quite strongly. But remember, thoughts really do have consequences and effects. We're making our own reality all the time. So look at the positive possibilities, Libra, not the negative ones, because all this work we do trying to balance out negativity can get to us in a big way, and really the balance needs to come into our own life, particularly for a Libran. And there's great riches to be gained, you see, from looking into that. Look at all the gold in this, look at all the animals and everything. It's full of love and it's full of light, and that's how it can be for you, Libra, if you just keep remembering that you can attract what you want into your own life. There's not much point waiting for other people to do it, is there, dear me? Okay, that's Libra. I've got to reach for another deck now. I didn't think I was going to be doing that today. What we got? Yeah, Messages from Your Animal Spirit Guides by Stephen Farmer, and it's the right way up there. Okay. And this is going to be for Scorpio. This is the card for Scorpio for April the 8th to the 14th. Okay, you could kind of take it as starting today, really, because the moon's in Taurus and things are going that way. Okay, so Scorpio, here we go. Let's have a shuffle. The card isn't springing out at me this time, so things are going to be a little bit vague for Scorpions, I'm quite sure, as we go through next week. Things are going to be a little bit vague for us all, actually. But wait till the end of the week before you make your mind up, okay? It's a time of surprises. Smoking mirrors is what's just come to me. Okay, Scorpio, a card for you. The Condor. Look at all the purple light out there, and it's kind of walled off by this earthiness, but that earthiness is a way of grounding and actually getting out into the healing light. Okay, Scorpio, you're too enmeshed in this situation, so step back and see the bigger picture before making any decisions or taking actions. And this is what the Condor does. It's right up and above, and it can fly extremely long distances as well, the Condor. It has incredible sticking power and staying power. Scorpions tend to have that too. Not everybody has, but remember that characteristic, Scorpio, because that is what's really going to be important as we go through the next week. Just remember that, the healing light is actually there, and although the colours of the world tend to turn black and white when Scorpions are kind of thinking things through and working things out, remember that healing is all around, and if you can't see it at all, you just need to step back a bit further from the situation, then you can see the bigger picture. If I pushed the camera back, you could see my teacups and dirty clothes and things, which I'm not going to do because that just wouldn't be nice, would it? But that's the thing to do, Scorpions. Okay, so, right, moving on to Sagittarius. I'm actually going to put that deck away now. There we go, Scorpio. You had a special deck all to yourself today. Okay, let's pop that back in the box so it doesn't interfere. Oh, let's bring out another deck. Right, I'm gonna start forgetting what I'm doing at this rate. Okay, Ask an Angel, Tony Carmine Solano, and this is for Sagittarius. And I am a Sagittarius myself, so I guess this is for me. I guess I might misinterpret it, but I don't think I will. I don't think I will. Okay. Sagittarius, Divine Mystery, and this is Archangel Raziel. Okay. We've got basically the dove. I mean, the dove is the obvious symbol, isn't it? It's the sign of peace, the symbol of peace. And the more peace we can have in our hearts, the higher we fly into the sun, and hopefully we don't burn our wings. This dove looks nice and far away from the sun so that it's not going to burn its wings. But that is an issue for Sagittarians at the moment. There is this great feeling that something fabulous is about to happen, but it's not happened yet. It's not happened yet. It's not happened yet. Difficult one for Sagittarians because we do tend to want to give up on a thing and just go back to having a quiet life. But friends, don't be doing that. Don't be thinking about that quiet life, because it just kind of ends up being not enough for a Sagittarian. I know this to my own, I know that in my own heart. It's the way it is. So have faith, Sagittarius, and know that you can fly. We've got a very dark sky here, but if you could kind of see it as I'm seeing it in the normal light of the room, or if you've got this card, or you could even Google this card, Archangel Raziel, Divine Mystery from Ask an Angel by Tony, Toni, Carmine Salerno, Salerno. Look it up, because it's a soda-lighty kind of colour. It's not the black it looks like, but that can really be an illusion. When great things are coming in, we can very easily think the skies are dark, especially with Sagittarius. It's the way Sagittarius are. So have faith. And look, it's soaring. I'm back onto soaring again. We can all soar, and I don't mean sawing wood. I've got to saw some wood later today, actually, because even though it's kind of right into April, it's not exactly April showers. It's like ice and snow and stuff like that. And there's just a lot more wood to saw. I'm still sawing wood like I was doing all winter. Anyway, that's enough of my problems. Let's keep cracking on with this. So, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. We have reached the sign of Capricorn. Now, this could be a very tricky week ahead for Capricorn in terms of thoughts and feelings. But Cappies do have that ability to hang on tight, and you're going to need that because change is coming in a way that's a little bit baffling. Okay, Cappy, so the card I've got for you is White Eagle Ancestor Spirit. So this is particular. I'm thinking of Kimber Wolfgang and anybody else who is a Capricorn at the moment. I'm giving you this one. Loads of healing colours here, and also loads of purpley blue. And this is reminding me again of sodalite and another crystal that's well known called lapis lazuli, which is that they're stones of connection. Basically, they're really stones of connection, but there's some faithfulness involved with the sodalite as well. That has a lot to do with being faithful to your path, being faithful to the other people in your life, and actually being faithful to yourself, which is so easy for Capricorns to forget. They're full of thinking about the task in hand, what needs to be done, what's really super important in the here and now. And look forward a bit, Capricorn. White Eagle is not looking too pleased here. He's an ancestor spirit. That's the message. Well, that's the what is it? The subtitle, ancestor spirit. That's what we're dealing with. So we're looking at spiritual connections again, Cappy. So do be willing to look to the skies for the answer, or even look in your dreams for the answer, and keep that pen and pad by the bed to write your dreams down, because the information coming in is going to be really great and really uplifting. And the message here is connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. And this doesn't just mean kind of family in terms of the physical worldly family that we're born into, mum and dad, sisters, brothers. They matter so much, friends, but we're in a kind of a soul group family here, I feel. Really, I'm feeling that connection to you guys, and as new people come in, I feel a connection to them as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, by the way, tap the bell, leave me a comment, all that stuff, because that's going to be good. But connect to your lineage, okay? Capricorn, right, yeah, I'm so forgetful. Connect to your lineage and look at the amount of power there is here. And this is ancestral power, really, because the Native American tradition, you wouldn't get all those feathers in your headdress. You just have one feather in your headdress. Unless, not just you, but your family had really put a lot in and excelled and succeeded. So remember, Capricorn, your soul group family can do all that in the coming week. And actually in the coming life, but I'm giving it for in the week particularly. Okay, so now we're on to Aquarius. Aquarius. And I feel I often want to say emotions because of Aquarius, and it's not kind of the main thing, but I guess Aquarians are going through rather a lot of emotions at the moment. Let's just, oh, so dropping cards all over the place. Right, let's read one that's dropped. Right, I'm not really too surprised by this one. Okay. So this is for you, Aquarius, and this, I guess, is where the emotions come into it. See only love. Okay, really important to do that. We've got a dark purple here, a kind of a royal purple, and it shows that really, really great things, really high things can happen for Aquarians as we go through the next week. Look past the seeming errors, mistakes and misunderstandings and see only the love within each person, including yourself. And that is really vitally important. That's something we forget, but include yourself in all this love and light. It's really important, okay, Aquarius? Your resolute focus upon the love that underlies every situation brings about healing in undreamed of ways. So, focus on that, Aquarius. Be aware of the love. Aquarians usually are, I know. And focus on that love because it's the divine side of things that's really going to be uplifting as we go through the next week. And look, this angel has her heart in her hand. And this is a true thing for Aquarians and for a great many of us as well. So don't just listen for your star sign, folks. Listen to the whole thing. That's the way. Right, Aquarians, just, you know, have that awareness that that love is there and that love that you can see. It's not really going to be getting in the way to see that love and to feel that love. Just be aware of it and be aware that you are actually loved in this world as well as from the heavens, but from the heavens as well. That is so important. Okay, so we come to Pisces and I'm back on Keepers of the Light for Pisceans. Okay. And before I've even got to the card, I can see the two fish swimming and trying to pull in different directions. So there's a soul group thing here for Pisces as well. Be aware of other people. Be aware of the fact that we're a pack animal. We kind of work together. It was once said that the way the human race came about was that God was a glass sphere, and the glass sphere that is God fell to the earth and smashed, and we are the fragments. It's a very good way to look at it, actually, because that whole thing of Godhead has got much less to do with kind of constant, worship and praise is important, but it's not a constant thing. We should remember that it's all there to help us. It really is. Okay, Pisces. I keep getting the same card, but it must be meant, and it's white eagle again, ancestor spirit, and I'm giving this for Pisces. We had this only moments ago, but it's fallen out twice, so I've got to do it. Okay, it's the sodalite colour again. It's the stone of connection. And I'm going to say that we are, in so many ways, the stones of connection. We are really the tools. I make magic wands, and some people say we are the wands ourselves. And it's a true thing, no matter how many crystals you've got, no matter how many magic tools, it's what they can only really affect you and affect the world around you if you invest something of yourself into them and visualize and believe. Because sure, I mean, all these card decks and everything, they are just, packets of paper with pictures printed on them. It's the connection to spirit guides, and it's the actual soul connection we get when we read these cards that really makes the difference. So, where are we? Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now, and this is for Pisceans. So as that you're kind of being pulled to swim in two different directions, remember that soul group, remember that family, and remember that even if there's two of you, you're both fish. You've got that much in common. Might as well swim together, not just with other Pisceans, but with everyone. It's a bit like a public swimming pool this next week coming up, if you ask me. Strange analogy, but I like my strange analogies, Okay, let's just take a quick look through because there is some stuff happening in astrology that I want to mention, okay? Basically, the sun makes alignments in the next week to three really kind of big forces, three powerful forces, okay? On Wednesday, April the 10th, the sun is square Saturn, kind of the lower enforcer, and things are going to get pretty tough there. You can be pretty sure you're going to learn an important lesson And this is actually for all the star signs now. This is just the way the week is going. Also, that same day, Wednesday, April the 10th, Jupiter turns retrograde, and that's going to go on for 4 months. Jupiter is a gas giant. It kind of blows hot and cold, and there's a lot more to looking at it than there is to the actual substance. The substance of Jupiter is much less, and it tends to promise things it can't deliver. Maybe that's going to be heightened in a retrograde. I only say maybe because you never know with retrogrades. Anyway, Thursday, April the 11th, Mercury squares Jupiter for a short time, and Mercury still isn't quite out of the post-shadow to retrograde at that moment, so the lessons will still be coming in and the wheels will still be turning. Then Saturday, April the 13th, the Sun squares Pluto. Could be a conflict. Well, that is a conflict, really, and we're looking at a definite maybe on power struggles around work. Almost racing certainty of power struggles in relationships. So just keep breathing deeply, yeah? Don't worry about it. And this is whatever sign you are. There's a lot of kind of things coming up in the next week that could produce worry, but it all ends up really nicely. And it's the end of Mercury retrograde just after that. Okay, friends, that's it from me for April the 8th to the 14th. And you can start that one today, because what's happening on Monday the 8th is an applying aspect. We're coming towards it now. If you're watching today on the day of release, the moon is actually in Taurus now, so get things done or have a complete rest. It's up to you. So much is in your hands, so much is in my hands. We got to look after ourselves in that sense. But through the cards today, I hope you've seen that possibility of connecting to soul groups, because that is really favoured next week. Okay, so Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Don't worry, have a fantastic week. And just before I do this, right, I'm going to say it again. If you possibly can, have a look over at my About Me page. No one has to, no one needs to worry about it, but donations are really welcome. YouTube have kind of tightened up a bit. I'm not going to go on too much about that, but they've really tightened up. And I can't live stream from a mobile device anymore, so I've had to dig the old computer out and it's knackered. So, donations, please, only if you can, okay? Don't worry about it. I'm happy working for nothing. I make money in other ways, not a problem. But if you can, please use the donate button on my About Me page on YouTube. It's paypal.me/Twig Brother. That's paypal.me/Twig Brother. Anyway, don't worry about that. The angels are close. And I'm going to thank my guardians, guides and gatekeepers and all the angels who've been around me today. I'll be back later. I'm going to try and go live from my desktop. Didn't work out last night, but I'm going to try. Have a great time, friends. Peace out, and I'll see you soon. Bye.